Yep, our love for the game runs deep. From the banter masters to the over-sabi coaches and to all fans who make the game unforgettable. Game on! Enjoy the rhythm of the game with Golderg, official beer of the Super Eagles.
Hello everyone, welcome along to Niger Game On, powered by Golderg. We're delighted to have you for the round of 16 matchups in the Africa Cup of Nations currently ongoing in Cote d'Ivoire. The guys are here, and of course the changing sets means that we've progressed to a new round of the tournament. 89 goals scored so far in 36 matches shows you all you need to know about the excitement at the tournament so far. Of course, our key focus on the show, as always, is the Super Eagles of Nigeria, who have also made their way to the next round, taking on Cameroon. Interesting scenes when we qualified, and of course Cameroon as well. Perennial or eternal rivals, if you like. So something's got to give in this particular game, given that both teams need to make their way to the quarterfinals. I've got IBK Sports in the house as always for what is going to be a very exhilarating preview before the game itself. You know, about Monday is here as well, and of course, like I could never miss a conversation about the Super Eagles and whatnot. My name is Yubi, so do you know of it? Yeah, about Monday, good to see you here. Great stuff. Obviously, we haven't played well. 89 goals scored, and when you think about the fact that, you know, Super Eagles have only contributed to 3 of those goals. I
was hoping you would say that. 89 goals and we scored 3. We scored 2.
Technically 3.
Right.
Yeah, they helped us with 1. But
I'll give you the way you just right. First game, we score a goal of our own, right? We walk it and score. Yeah. Second game, we say, let my people go penalty. Right. Third game, we don't feel say, score for us, I bet. So, I mean, by that trajectory, it means our goals are drying up, right? The first game we had an XG of maybe 3.0 there, about over. So we're creating the chances, we're not taking them.
We're not even hitting the target.
Yeah,
we're not hitting the target because the numbers are really poor. 3 games, you have not managed 5-6 shots on target. I think that's not good enough. And you know, they say the stats are not the game, but you know, stats are an indication of how close you are to achieving something, or how far away you are to achieving something, and the stats don't really look nice in terms of what we're doing, and it's a shame because we're creating chances. You know, we're creating decent chances, have chances. You know what you would call guilty chances. We're not just putting them in the net. We're not even making the goalkeeper work, which is the minimum requirement. You always want, you know, there's nothing as annoying as missing the target completely. Oh, let's say the goalkeeper made a great save. Oh, someone cleared off the line. Oh, we always like that. But when you're just firing blanks, it can be really frustrating.
Yeah, where I would disagree with Senior Man a little bit is because
I never can understand where did that Monica come from? Because I know you know we said, you know, the Omoluabis are the ones who respect. All of a sudden you have some respect for me. Is that a direct response to that?
Refine never start to no make can start waiting they do normally. I mean, make the respect continue like this.
No, I think you know, to be honest, being an Omoluabi doesn't mean, you know, everything you do, you have to be, the respect has to be. There's this line that says, "Oh, make humility don't go turn me to mumu." I think it was so. Being an Omoluabi doesn't mean you now become a mumu.
Right.
You know, also being an Omoluabi also means standing on business, knowing that
standing on business,
standing on business. Don't bring that thing to me. I know what time it is, but why I disagree with in is that if we break down what constitutes guilty chances, what constitutes big chances, because this, I don't know if it's a narrative or if it's true, this thing about, we create chances, we create clear,
but the stats say, putting them away. We put out the stats last time.
Look at it.
No, that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
That's your big chances.
No, when you say big chances, right? That's what I mean by, if you break it down to what constitutes big chances, because in my opinion, the big chance that we've had that has been missed was the Osimhen in the first game.
Bright Osai as well. In the second game.
You see, the Bright Osai one,
it's not a chance yet.
I think that's what I mean by, if we break down what constitutes big chance, because that Bright Osai one, you had a defender in front of him, you had Ola that was running, that ran across him.
And you had a guy to his left.
So what constitutes really big chances? Because in my opinion, the chances that we created so far, a lot of those chances have not been gilt-edged. They have been a little bit far from being gilt-edged, because when you compare it to, for example, Equatorial Guinea and the goals that Emilio Insue has scored, you see they pass it around, they put it on the plate for him. They pass it around, they put it on the plate for him. You look at the ones Osimhen has had, aside from that one-on-one that he missed.
No, I think the one
is
against,
either stretching to head it.
the one against Guinea-Bissau.
I think Osimhen
is quite big. The one against Guinea-Bissau.
The one against Guinea-Bissau.
The cross where
the
he
one
comes
was
on.
one-on-one, and
The one-on-one and
the ball
fired off
the ball
range.
went over the post.
No.
Do you remember?
Yeah, there's a chip.
There was one. The ball went over the post.
That's against Ivory Coast now.
No. There was one against. I think
It
against.
was against Ivory Coast now.
Was it against Ivory Coast?
Give him.
Yeah.
Chukwueze, put
Yeah,
it through.
okay. There was one who wanted to lob the
But
keeper.
that's a big chance that we find.
That's it. No,
I think
that's
there
a
are
big
big chances,
no.
to be honest.
Let's relax.
Is that a big chance?
Let's
Yes or
agree.
no?
Let's agree
Is that
to
a big
disagree.
chance?
Let's agree to disagree.
Okay.
Right. Let's agree to disagree.
Well, answer this one first. Is that a big chance?
I go
I don't
answer.
put fight for.
No, I
Is
go
that-
answer.
is that a
This
big
football with
chance?
Sabiam. I go answer. You see. When you compare to the one he missed against Equatorial Guinea, that's a pass that has come through his one-on-one. This one against Ivory Coast, the pass came through. There was a defender to his blind side.
But the defender can't tackle him.
Relax. You can't tackle him.
The
but
defender can't
can
tackle
you-
him, so that's a one-on-one.
Multiple times I've heard you say the defender is the reason why he's not able to head it clean.
But the defender can't tackle him. So that
the
means
defender can't tackle him doesn't mean the defender
it
can't
gives
pass
you
him off.
a
And
miss.
bear in mind, I'm not saying it is not a big chance.
Okay.
I am saying that, in my opinion, the gilt edge that he's missed is that one against Equatorial Guinea.
I think
against Ivory Coast.
Osimhen has missed at least 3 good gilded chances.
Now, what makes a big chance?
The one against the first game against Equatorial Guinea.
Okay, I think I agree with you. 3.
The header against Guinea-Bissau.
Yeah.
The cross from the left where he
there was one wanted to lob.
I think it's a gilded chance.
So
And that first one, the over the cross line.
It says we've missed
13. We've missed 13. We've scored
13, so
3.
he's missed 3. So
So
why are they killing the
I'm just going to define what big chances mean, right?
God bless you.
And this is according to the guys who make the best stats. Even if I say so myself, Opta.
Yeah.
Now, a big chance is a situation where a player should reasonably be expected to score, usually in a one-on-one scenario or from a very close range.
Yeah.
When the ball has clear path to go.
Yeah.
And there
No,
is-
this is the same thing.
This is the
Okay.
important part. This is why what you said is
Okay.
important. And there is low to moderate pressure on the shooter.
Yeah.
Now, this is it. Hold on. No.
That pressure. And there is
Low to moderate pressure.
that shot
you put the ball.
low to pressure.
No, it's not to
I made mention of something. Hold on.
No, let me mean the idea.
Put the clip on the.
I made mention of something. I said that most times, I think when you say someone creates big chance, I think you, at least at that range, you should hit the ball on target.
Yeah.
Whether it is saved or not.
Yep.
I said it here.
I agree.
And if you don't get to hit a ball on target at a particular range, then it also counts as big chances missed. Because I feel that when there is a save to a shot, it shouldn't count as a miss. For big
It
chances.
should be counted as a
No, you don't understand. No, you don't understand. When I mean big chances, normally you should.
I'm looking for the logic.
If you look at it very well, I still believe that
Right.
when you are in a position where you are supposed to shoot at least on
to hit the
target.
target. No, I'm getting it now.
So there are 2 ways you can they say true they coexist. You get, so you can miss a chance by maybe probably a very close range.
Right.
You should be finding the net.
Yeah.
And you can also miss a chance maybe you are not even hitting the target.
Yeah.
So I think the big one. I think the big one should be you not even hitting the target. at all.
And that's what Osimhen
right.
has conspired to do.
That's
So
what he
far.
did.
That's what he has done.
So if you go,
Sorry, and you know the funny thing. You know the Ivory Coast. The first game, the Equatorial Guinea chance that he missed.
Yeah.
You know, we talked about it, and you made a very good point. Maybe he missed his position. You know, like he probably thought it was
still big chance.
You know, he was different. He wasn't quite sure where he was. But you see that one against Guinea-Bissau, the cross from Olaino.
The header, yeah.
That is bread and butter for Osimhen all day,
I agree.
every
I
day.
agree.
Because a ball is being put in a position where you are just coming onto it. All you need to do is just
There was
give
no
it a
pressure
direction.
from defenders.
I agree.
There's no pressure from a defender.
Yeah.
You've got to put that away.
I agree. Do you now also agree that this header that you just described is more of a big chance than the one he skied against Ivory Coast?
Yes, it is.
Good.
Right.
I agree to disagree.
Right. So I mean, if we're just joining the show, we're speaking about big chances and how is that the reason where we are and why the tournament has been, has had so many falls done? Because in the end, we can't make it more gloom than it is. We are in the next round, right? No. But it feels like we're crawling on our bellies.
No, okay.
Is that when you don't have the expectation that we're going to win games? Is that something that could work in our favor?
I think it's intentional. I said it before we came on here. I said that when you listen to the coach, since the start of the tournament, his pressers and the rest, you understand that. I was talking to Rufai about when a team comes in being pragmatic, there's a reason they are like that. And I feel that he realizes that there are some times we don't really need to take the ball to the opponent. Let's just play it simple. And I think that's what the Super Eagles have been doing.
Yeah.
And I feel tournament football, I think it's not really about the excitement. I think it's about how you approach games. And I think that was why a lot of us give credit to Pesere against Ivory Coast. Yes, you might see maybe the midfielders are not available, but thinking about tweaking formation, you can hardly see that in African football. No disrespect, but tweaking formations like that, it makes you realize that I think this guy knows what he's doing, and he already told us that this is the way we'll continue. So whether we like it or not. So against Cameroon, I think we'll see this approach once again.
Before we get into what to expect against Cameroon, we're basically trying to find the diagnosis to our problems.
Yeah. There's no problem. Is that a problem?
I believes there's no problem.
You already told us there's no problem.
Right.
So you think there's a problem?
I think there's a big problem.
Hold on a second.
There's no. Even Osimhen said it. There's no problem.
Are we going to put that? IBK doesn't think it's a problem. That diagnosis at the footstool of Osimhen is he the reason we haven't gone to the next gear?
Nah, no chance.
He's the reason we're in the round of 16.
He's the reason we're in the round of 16.
I think he's the reason. I think it would take him out of the team. And people can be overly critical of top players when the minimum requirement for you is put the ball in the net. But I always feel like I don't care if Osimhen scores 20 goals in this tournament or he scores 1. If we go on and win the title because the tournament because of how well he plays, whether he scores or not, I think I'll have that. Because it's not club football. We are not looking to win the highest goal scorer at the end of the season. It's about winning 7 football matches. And for how well he's played, and by far he's been our best player. He's played better than everyone in the 3 games. His attitude, his approach to games, his worrying of defenders, his positioning, just everything he does, how he presses, and sometimes he presses as a lone army. He goes alone, chases down, harrying defenders. He's played so well. But why I think it's a problem in terms of us not scoring is in the round of 16. You probably don't have 5 chances in a game or 4 or 6. You probably have 2. And you've got to take them. If you play a clinical team who takes their chances.
So why are you not considering the number of goals we've considered? Because you're looking at just what we've scored.
No. The point,
but in the end, now it's
in the round of 16.
In the end, I already told you there's an advantage to you being pragmatic.
Yeah.
That's the fact you are very disciplined. You don't want to concede goals. And like Mourinho we say, I think if you don't concede goals, you are not losing the game.
Okay,
so why don't you see that way as well?
That's a simple question. Of the 3 teams we played in the group in the first round, who was our most difficult opposition?
I think it's Equatorial Guinea.
And guess what? They scored against us. What does that tell you?
But that was the first game.
Play a better opposition.
But that was the first game.
Play better opposition, they would score against us. We're not that great defensively.
I don't think so.
We're not that great defensively.
My own understanding is that I don't care about scoring 16 goals, 7 goals,
course.
All of that. The signs to why there is a problem is in how cohesive we are in our play. It's not about whether we scored 5 or 6. I said against Guinea-Bissau. Against Guinea-Bissau, the coach went with the same setup against Ivory Coast. 3 at the back. But I was quite shocked. We needed a point, but we could also have won the game in a better way. Now, the 1-0 is not the problem. We could have played better and still win 1-0. Yeah. That's fine. But the fact that Guinea-Bissau were better than us in just moving the ball around. they looked like they were better coached. Those are the problems, because when you play a better team, you'll be found out, right? And bear in mind that Guinea-Bissau, they rested lots of players for that game. They rested lots of players, about 8, 7.
I think they made 10
changes.
changes.
They wanted to
10
give
changes.
everyone a chance to play at AFCON.
That's exactly what I'm saying. So
That's worrisome.
That's worrisome. So if you go in a game like that and you can't seem to piece passes together, 2-3 in the final third, it's a big problem. You're going on you're playing with 3 at the back, you're hitting on the counter attack because you want to be pragmatic. Then what that means is that you need 2-3 passes, max 4, you're in front of the goalkeeper, but you can't even play 2 passes correctly. And that's why I look at people also piling on Osimhen. As far as our front line is concerned, the only person that has done very good link-up play in terms of playing passes is Victor Osimhen. Every time a long ball comes in and is able to bring it down, you can bet he's going to play a very simple pass to continue the move forward. Yeah. So what we need to do is, you've gone with 3 at the back. I was surprised against Guinea-Bissau where
problem too.
you're playing with 3 at the back, right? But your 3 at the back, which when you are defending becomes 5, was playing exactly like you are playing 4 at the back. So your full backs were not going anywhere. So what's the purpose of 3 at the back when you are going forward?
So obviously,
Do you think there's a problem?
Obviously, we're a bit divided on that. IBK doesn't feel there's a problem. What do you make of it? Use the hashtag #NigerGameOn on social media, Twitter to be preferably precise. I beg your pardon. And of course, if you're Instagram user, if that's what you prefer to do, use #NigerGameOn hashtag in the comment section as well. The guys are quite split on where they think this game would go. As far as our journey so far, we played Equatorial Guinea in the first game 1-0, second game 1-1, second game 1-0 penalty. Some people just tell you that in tournaments, all you need to do is win, right?
Yeah.
If we take that route to the tournament, to the last 4 semifinals and the final, how important is this substance then over the style over the substance? Because you think about big guys who have gotten knocked out, Algeria, Tunisia, Ghana, all gotten knocked out of the tournament, I mean, they'll take our place, isn't it? They'll take what we have.
Definitely. Snap your finger.
Yeah, of course. And like you said, quality or substance will probably take you as far as, the semi-final. But from then on, it's about how stout can you be? How difficult can you be to break down? Because in the semi-final, seldom do you see semifinals, someone losing 4-0, 5-0. Seldom do you see semifinals get so open-ended. You want that substance in that semifinal, I feel like, if we can stagger the way we're staggering, to the semifinal, we'll probably need this pragmatism at that point, because in that semifinal, you're certainly going to meet a very difficult team, a very good side, a well-compact team. And style doesn't really matter in a tournament where you have to play 7 games, but style comes in when you feel like it can be a way to achieving something.
So it means to an end.
If it's it means to an end. If you can if you can create a style that can make you win games,
right? Yeah.
How about you go with it? But the problem now is we're not playing with so much style. We're almost believing or hoping on scraps, taking advantage of things just happening.
Yeah.
Not like we are forcing it to happen.
Yeah.
And in the round of 16, I don't think that happens.
Yeah.
I think that when you play better sides, you have to be more purposeful and more intentional in winning games.
Do you know why I would disagree with him? And this is it. And we've said it here already. Now, if no one has watched Super Eagles all through the tournament, you probably think the scrap he meant is maybe we just had a chance and we buried it. Like I said before, I think the reason Pesero had to how to go through training sessions without media, without nobody's, the fact that now they are beginning to see that there needs to be more seriousness in the camp. I said that there has to be more of personal training. I spoke with one of the journalists, friend I have in Ivory Coast, and I can tell you that these things are already happening. We are creating chances in it. Now, fine, we can be very.
They talk like say,
we can be very pragmatic. I don't like the fact that you feeding on scrap means probably just one chance and we buried it.
But
we are creating these chances.
We are feeding on scraps.
I don't like this narrative of we are creating chances. Why? Because
No, but the stats are 13 big chances, 3 goals scored.
Bro, there's a reason why they bring this thing called the eye test in football. The stats can read what they read, but we watch the games. Majority of our stats are long balls played to no man's land, Osimhen chasing down and fighting tooth and nail to create something out of it.
That is not
That's what
creating
majority
chances.
of our chances are.
That's
and
not
that's not how
creating.
you want to win the tournament. I don't care if you are pragmatic. You can be pragmatic. But majority of our chances have been long balls to no man's land. We cannot even
feeding
move
us
the ball
scraps.
from the defense line to midfield.
Rufai,
and
now the question is, wait, hold on. The question is,
drive the conversation.
have we created chances? Yes or no? Not even when they talk na English.
Forward.
Have we created chances? Yes or no?
I tell you what I do.
Yes or no?
I tell you what I do.
We don't create chances. That one does. That one did.
I tell you what I do, right? I would have some of the people watching the show and listening, to tell us what you think about the chances we are creating, and if your IBK's school of thoughts that we are creating the chances and it's only a matter of time before we take them. If you're like Rufai, who thinks that what we have as big
feeding us
chances
scraps.
are not necessarily big chances,
Scavengers.
would like to know that very much, right? Anyway, let's get on with Eagles. Are actually scavengers.
My own Bible is scavenged for your mouth.
Yeah. Anyway, let's narrow into the game itself, right?
Yeah.
Head to head, 25 games played. Nigeria's won 12. We've drawn 8 against Cameroon. So that tells you we've had the better of them. We always have a measure of Cameroon.
Always.
However, where they've got the better of us are in the crucial games.
Yeah.
The ones that leave long in memory, right?
84, 88, 2000, the most painful thing.
Yep.
And I was working with a player who played in a final with Cameroon.
Who's his name now? Say his name.
Mutia Adikpo.
Headmaster.
Shout out to
A big shout out to him. He's a
Mutia.
great guy. And he was talking about going into that kind of game, the mindset into going into that kind of game. And when you play against Cameroon, it's whatever happened in the previous game doesn't matter. It's about we're playing a team who love to play against us, who love to beat us, and it's incredible. It's incredible because we are going into a game on Saturday against a side who barely made it to the round of 16. They were packing their bags already 5 minutes to the end of the game, and the mindset has got to be different because they want to beat us. We want to beat them. There's a rivalry, there's so much intensity in that rivalry. And Cameroon, I've always, like Yubi has said, I've had the better of us in the key moments, in the key finals. They've beaten us in 3 finals, 84, 88, 2000. We've never beaten them in the final. We've beaten them in...
I think the one the paper raised his hand.
Yeah, that was the final. That was the final. Yeah, so they beaten us in key games, and we've managed to win in quarterfinals, second round, and all of that. And this is one of them. And if there was ever going to be a big chance to beat Cameroon, it would be now, because I don't think Cameroon are that fantastic.
Yeah.
They are not. They're a side that I think Super Eagles can. If we play relatively better than we played in the past 3 games, we'll beat them easily, because I think defensively they're an absolute shocker. But having said that, they have players at the top end of the pitch that I worry for our defenders. I worry that if we do not stitch our thing together, if we allow them possession in the final third, they might hurt us. And it's that sort of game where you feel it could go either way, but bang on favorites will be the Super Eagles.
I want to ask you, Rufai, because I'm just looking at this matchup and I'm thinking, how much of a role does the influence of people like ex-football players and legends around the technical area of Cameroon? Samuel Eto'o, of course, is the president. Rigobert Song is the manager.
What was he sat on the bench?
I mean,
did he sit on the bench?
No. He wasn't on the bench, but I mean, there was a close. The point I'm trying to make is that Rigobert Song. I mean, he's in the dressing room after every game. He's motivating the players. That's what I'm trying to say. But
that can be very unnerving.
When I watch Super Eagles, I've seen JJ obviously, try to give the boys, good vibes and everything like that. But I just sense that there is more of a connection with their history to the current players on the pitch than with us. Obviously you've got Pesero there. I'm not sure how much he knows about rivalry. Could that be the advantage? Somebody telling the players this is what it means to beat Nigeria.
That's a fantastic question.
I think that plays a big role.
Yeah,
because you get an ex-international, he comes into the dressing room, and even before he has said anything, before he has said anything, the players in the dressing room know that we saw this guy against Cameroon, you know, so years ago. We saw this guy play football. He was our idol, you know, and all that. There's something between footballers where you see the senior colleague, but you want the senior colleague to be proud of you because you have seen what the senior colleague has done and what the senior colleague has achieved. So now it's almost like you want to be able to come to the table of men. You want to be able to earn your right to sit with JJ and say, yes, you did this also time, I did this also time as well. So even before the ex-international has said anything, there is motivation in the air. There is that feeling in the air. And then when the ex-international now goes into details of, when you go into games like this is what can happen, this is how you can do, this is how you can. I think it is incredible insight that I don't think the coach can give to you if he's not been in that position.
And Cameroon have the advantage because
they have the advantage. So I think it's incredible insight where they can basically lay it out for you and say, look, you can make your career by winning this game.
There's a video out there. I don't know if Wale will look for that video where Ian Acho was
where he was telling JJ that
say
every time we have a game, we like you to come in the dressing room.
We need to talk
so
to
that
us.
is what
So, you know, coming from Ian Acho, who is currently playing, so you understand that. I think this is more like a motivation. You know who JJ is growing up. A lot of us know who JJ is growing up, and see him just in the dressing room.
He scored a winning goal against Cameroon.
You get so.
A free kick. Yeah, it was a free kick. Can you imagine?
Guess who was in goal?
Who?
Idris Kameni.
Yeah, Kameni.
He was one of the best. He was
Espanyol.
the best goalkeeper at the time in African football.
I think Espanyol legend.
The winning goal was Utaka.
No. The free kick was the equalizer. The winning free kick was the equalizer. Can you imagine being a football player?
I didn't know you were that old.
Can you imagine being a football player? You're going into a game for the Super Eagles and JJ is telling you, look, this game. Can you imagine the
guy? All of them say CJJ inside dressing room. They know who talk. Guy, you know who they inside dressing room?
JJ Austin.
Yeah,
so good.
If you're not ready, I can do it. I can show you how to do it. Right? But that's amazing. Let us know how much you think that is a factor going into the game for us. You know, the proximity of the ex-players to the current team. Is Anguissa in that team?
Yes, Anguissa is there.
It's been underwhelming.
Let's put the team.
Can be.
Yeah,
you get so.
Vincent Abubakar is not bad.
No. He's injured.
He's a big fan.
I'm a massive fan of Abubakar. You know,
knock them out.
When we signed,
it's a proper.
When we signed, that's man. That mountain, Vegas, you know, I love his passion, but I would have hoped that we signed Abubakar. He's a premium football player.
Abubakar na baller.
No, I mean absence of
honestly, when I watch Abubakar play, right, there are few players that I see manifest themselves like that. One of them is Abutrika Mohammed. You know, I put him into that category where on the pitch he might not be the biggest name, but shaping that ball and say we won't play today.
Go play this song. Go play this song.
And that's how I say it.
Golderg, official beer of the Super Eagles.
Let's put the teams together. I hear people say we have the better team, right? But when I look at the man for man, pound for pound, I begin to ask a bit of questions. You know, we've got the best striker in the world, arguably, right?
Yeah.
You know, Simon. But that's as far as it goes.
Yeah, that it's because I look at their team and we're talking about Anguissa. Anguissa is a proper midfielder. I don't think we've got any player better than him in his position. You know, on and off the ball, so much energy. They got George Kevin Kudu, who is just slightly better than Moses Simon. At least he's had an assist.
Kudu played that. It was at Spurs one time like that.
Yeah, he was at Spurs. Yeah, he played at Spurs. He was at Burnley.
You watch Premier League.
And he's a very good player, you know, very good player. He just gets overexcited, you know, takes a touch just one too many times, but the proper dribbler.
It's true. Moses is his brother.
The proper dribbler, and it's very good on the ball. And then, you know, Cameroon these days, they don't have so many, you know, they used to have a really big squad, you know, group of players who you look around and they're so recognizable. Yeah. They are not like that anymore, you know, but they have very decent players here and there. And I agree that maybe we shade in terms of, you know, having better players. Maybe we just slightly shade it, you know, but in the end, it's a 90 minutes game, 95 minutes. It's not about who, I'm better than you. Because I noticed in African football, I said it here, one of our recordings, that Legova know they catch anybody for African football.
But that Polo now won't catch that guy. you don't even know that Legova.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but African football is, the way players play, I was watching Guinea Senegal the other day, and one guy won't kill money. He says, my brother, no worry, you get money.
You don't say you don't win Champions League.
We will die for this.
So what's that one coming for you?
You like that Mauritania match.
I love Africa for that Mauritania game.
Those boys
I was saying yesterday on the show that Algeria would have played that game 3 nights.
And they will not score.
And they will not score. Those Mauritanian players already died for that pitch. And that has been the story of African football. In the end, it's not about, we can play so well, we can pass so well. It's about who wants it more.
Yeah. I think where the problem comes from for Super Eagles is.
I thought you said there was no problem.
That didn't go far.
Calm down. For that game, will be this thing.
You don't know.
For that game, calm down. See, I've seen Cameroon's game, and I can tell you that I think Toko Ekambi is more like the major guy that makes things happen. So I don't know if he will play the right wing or the left, but he can play any of it. So that's where I'm scared.
That's where his problem will be.
That's where the problem will be, because
he's playing as a centre forward now.
No, be in the players 9.
They play 9 now. For this tournament, he has played 9. But he doesn't play that. That's his position.
But the last game, I see him they enter wide. So the problem now be see who be playing
Gabriel Jesus, the wrong wing.
Who be playing? I think Kawibasi will be there.
See, honestly, defensively, with how this man has set us up, and I still think that if you play some people that can really move the ball, right, I still think we can be in trouble. But because I look at Cameroon and I don't see a lot of quality as well. But
we have fast,
why I've been worried about our quality on the ball. You can be pragmatic; it's not a problem. But there's no chance you can be pragmatic for 90. You can't be pragmatic to the point where for 90 minutes you don't touch the ball at all. You still touch the ball.
Yeah.
And why I've been worried about our quality on the ball is that you go into a game every time, especially at the AFCON, you get to this stage where it's the knockout stages. It feels like you are playing finals until the real final. That's what it feels like. True. And when you go into these finals, you and I were speaking, was it yesterday or a few days ago, and I was saying that I personally don't think is in a particular context that finals are difficult to play, in the sense that it's one game. If you do your homework well enough and go into it with the mentality of, look, it is one game, we die here, you have a chance against anybody in the world.
And when you say that means you give everything.
You give everything. That's what I'm saying.
So the other people, they do their own work.
But also, God bless you. On the reverse of that conversation is that the other side too are thinking the same thing. We're going into the final, we go die there.
Go down penalty shootout.
So that's why I've been worried about our quality on the ball, because one thing, when people say you are being pragmatic or that team is being pragmatic, one thing that is taken away is that people feel like because that team is pragmatic, they don't have a lot of quality, they just went and sat back. And that's very far from the truth. The best teams that win from being pragmatic, there's a lot of quality in the side as well. So that's why I've been worried about our quality on the ball, where we can be pragmatic.
Because you can be solid, and if you say you're being pragmatic, you can be very solid. Ensure that the opponent doesn't have possession in the key areas of your pitch. But there will be moments where you get a turnover. You get a ball.
Exactly.
And you were talking about 3 passes. And sometimes it can be that simplistic.
It can be 3 passes.
Just one pass to the right player, on the right side. The next pass is to the center forward. The next ball is in the net.
But
if it happened in games, you would have beaten Ivory Coast at least 3-0.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's why I say we miss chances.
Where I want us to go next is so how do we set up then? Obviously, we've spoken about the defense, which I think is the one surprise that Pesero gave us in this tournament, to set up that defense in a way that, made the defense perform like the greater sum of his parts. It felt like, when you put Calvin Bassey as a lone centre back, you put Chuseko as a lone centre back, they're not as good as they are, to stand in a 2 or in a 4. But when you put in, another half there, in Semilogo Ajayi to be the half to Truce, to be the half to Calvin, and you have Aino, backing up, it gives them that extra insurance policy. So is that the same strategy we go with? Because that was a surprise against Ivory Coast. So we could have surprised Ivory Coast there, but Cameroon will go into the game knowing that we've got that in our locker.
Potentially do that,
right?
Yeah.
So we lost that surprise factor.
Alassane will be back, and I said that I think the unavailability of Alassane made Pesero make use of. It's not as if there was actually options, to play defensive midfield, because we only had one, which is Franco Yinka. So now, if Alassane is back, is it going to throw him into the game?
I
don't think he would want to risk that. So if he wants to go the way he would do, I think it's the 3-4-3 for me.
So two players, right? Alassane is back. He mentioned that, but Iheanacho was also. I've seen an interview where he said, "I'm 100%."
Yeah.
When a player is very, very deliberate about saying 100%, you say, "No, ask me again."
No.
Ask the manager.
I'm ready. Yeah.
I did.
Yeah. And funny thing is that he's actually our most creative player.
Joe, I think Iheanacho being 100%, we have to find a way to play. Also, when we're saying, we're not.
He's not our most creative player. He's our best finisher. He's our guy. If there's anybody
best finisher
in that team that I want a chance, I want a chance to fall to. If there's anybody in our team that I want a chance to fall to, I think it's.
I also think that if Iheanacho plays, I think Osimhen scores more.
He strikes the ball he strikes the ball so well. I also feel, because one of the reasons also that I think that Osimhen maybe has missed some of these things is because he does too much. He does way too much. Yeah,
way too much. I mentioned Emilio Isue the other time.
He was a veteran in the game.
He's a veteran in the game. You see what they do with him. They play 1-2.
He doesn't run too much.
Baba, no stretch yourself.
He doesn't run too much.
You understand? So I think that if we can find an edge in our game where Osimhen knows that, don't worry, the ball will come, that pass will come, I just need to.
And guess what? It just came to me now. If you see the way we play, Osimhen is so detached from the midfield players.
Yeah,
that's why he keeps running. Because when you have a player like Osimhen, you need someone playing closely.
Yeah, there has to be like a connector, like a
somebody, and that's where Kelechi Iheanacho comes in. Yeah. You have somebody who is just close to him, and I totally agree. Maybe if Osimhen and Iheanacho can start, Iheanacho can be in almost like a number 10 role.
I already said that is our. If you watch our games, it's actually very obvious. He is our most creative player, whether you like it or not. Yes, he can find the back of the net easily, but I've seen situations where the guy timed Osimhen's run. I didn't even expect that pass, and he timed it perfectly. So you look at what we've been experiencing in the last games, and bringing in Kelechi Iheanacho is just more like finally.
Right. I think best way to set up will still be 3 at the back. Why? I feel like we can do a lot more with that 3 at the back.
Because not from a defensive point now,
not from a defensive point. Yeah. Because what Ola Aina, for example, has shown is that he can give us a lot. He's been very good at the tournament.
Yeah.
He can give us
even
a lot.
Calvin Bassey.
So I feel like with a little more adventure.
Yeah.
Not necessarily, you bump forward and you
exactly
as I do.
But with just a little bit more adventure, I think we can cause a lot more harm to our position.
And then we've shown that the few times the players have gone forward, it's just like the goal.
Now don't say we get problems.
Exactly. Just like the goal.
Seriously,
adventure no day there.
They talk about adventure. They say this thing.
If
okay, like that one.
Because against Guinea-Bissau, we play 5 at the back and the 5 line up.
My brother, if you get to come.
Please,
I beg.
Just divert him, please. Can we stop saying this thing that we say? Somebody wants to say, when I get home, I will call you. Or somebody wants to say, please, when you get home, call me. You now go look, you say, bros, if you get home, call me. Do you have a plan to kill me on my way home?
You be like a killer.
Or have you said one accident waiting for me? Make I stay for this place with you.
I'm been sleepy. Oh.
He said, if you get home, call me. What kind of English is that?
It's the same way someone say like now if Moto jam you, don't say that.
Don't say that.
You know, if Moto jam person, what happened to person?
Please, Nigeria.
That wasn't
please.
even me.
The football show, but I just thought I should let that out, please. Stop saying if you get home.
When you get home, call me, right? That's why pigeon is so interesting, right? Anyway, obviously still speaking about this Nigeria-Cameroon game and trying to figure out where we'll win it. Rufai, you know, things we set up at 3 at the back. It's actually a 3-4-3, right?
Yeah.
With a bit more strategies to go forward and use the wing backs and the talents of Aino. I do have a problem with that. Zaidu anyway. I don't think Zaidu is.
No, he's been great. He's been great.
IBK, relax.
Offensively, he's not been. But I think
defensively would have been 1-0 in the game down before the game started.
Offensively, should have 3 goals in the tournament.
No, he should be top scorer. He should be behind.
It should be behind.
You know,
you get chance you chop and
You don't be like say as Zaidu reach there, you don't be pause the game. Come out and put Alonso there. When he score, come out and put Zaidu. Zaidu will celebrate.
Yo, so there's that. But as far as if we win that midfield battle, which IBK has sort of touched on, do you put Hassan in there because you put Hassan in there, that means one of Iwobi or Onyeka has to go away. So that's no creativity in midfield at all. That means the creativity has come from the wings entirely. Plus you've got the extra problem of Iheanacho. When do you now put him to the tournament? Because you can be saving players for nothing. Right.
So you see, and that's why I think it's down to for Alassane, for example. First of all, obviously you have to ascertain, is he 100%? You know, what is he okay to go into the game and give you a thorough performance?
First of all, what does he give?
Yeah, I think what he gives is very similar to Onyeka, honestly. You know, off the ball, hard worker, is a horse. Gonna go after everything, intercept, break play. I think that's what he gives.
I think it's similar to
very similar to Onyeka. So that's what I mean by you now have to know that this guy is coming off of an injury, of a knock. Is he okay to give you all? Is all? If not, I think you go with Onyeka to do that. He's going to do it. The difference is when you then put the sole responsibility on Onyeka as well to move the ball, to progress it. Then
it's not his strength.
That's not his strength, right? But I feel like when you bring in Iheanacho, please sit Samuel Chukwueze down. Bring in Iheanacho into the game. But since you're playing with a 3 at the back, the idea is that when you're going forward, Iheanacho is in the half space. He's not on the wing.
Yeah.
He's in the half space, so he can act as a conductor. All I know is the guy that's bumping to the wings. So you have a lot of options. If the ball goes to the wing, Iheanacho can, drop in and take. Osimhen is in the box. You have lots of options.
Would that not be too much work for Lionel?
I think he enjoys.
That's what he has shown us. That's what I mean when I say he has shown us.
I think Olaino, when you play Olaino in a 4, you can be a disaster.
Yeah,
he's not.
But with this 3 at the back,
he's not a great defender. But going forward, and he, I don't know how he does it. He has this movement with his body.
Looks like
he's
an
good on the
attacker.
ball. He's very good on the ball, and his crosses haven't been bad. To be honest, so. If you have Kelechi Iheanacho in that position where you're talking and having Olaino overlap all the time, he would be.
You are primed for a cutback. You are primed for a cross into the box. So I think,
and it's very unpredictable. Sometimes
Chukwueze doesn't start for you.
I don't think he starts. I think Chukwueze for me is an impact player. He's a player who, if you bring him off the bench, he can. He's got legs, and once in a while he's very skillful. But. He looks very redundant every time you start him, and he's very predictable. Defenders enjoy playing against predictable players. Always wants to
on his left
come back inside.
And the African defenders, I don't know why I keep saying African defenders, but with African football, there's so much riding on strength. So once you cut a player, it's easy for him to just push his body against you and win the ball. And that has happened with. I've not seen Chukwueze beat one player in this tournament.
I think a lot of that's down to the heat and the humidity as well. And I was speaking to a friend of mine who is very athletic, and he said, "Look, and this happens to me as well. Once you're running in the morning and the sun comes out, you just take something off your edge.
Yeah, it does.
The air, the oxygen is thinner. So if you're a player that thrives on on flying.
It's like when you put extra load on when you put extra load on an engine, you put extra load on a generator, for example.
I think that's the reason not
the
African
generator is
struggles.
working without proper new oil or something like that. Just extra load feels like it's struggling. If it's a light generating device, you see that the light is struggling.
Yeah.
It's just the same.
It just takes that flight away from you.
Yeah.
And I think that the sooner you adapt, if you're a flair player, you adapt to the conditions, the better that you can take away something from the tournament in terms of performances. But I mean, let's just touch base with the other games there. Before we do that,
maybe our brackets.
Let's take a quick look at who you start. So lineups for you. Obviously, Mwabali is in goal. I like the fact that we go into games now. At least we have an assurance doing that. That's our number one guy, right?
Somebody tweeted. A veteran journalist tweeted. Said Peter Rufai. What was it? Yeah, Peter Rufai was saying, I have to tell you, Mwabali is better than Uzoro.
And players, and for ex-players, it's hard for them to speak about. Take a side.
Yeah.
But shout out to Peter Rufai. So in goal, Mwabali starts. We're all in unison on that, right?
Yeah.
At centre back, we go with Semilogo, Calvin, and Trustekong. What's the situation with Trust? Is he okay?
No, he's back. He said there was
okay.
nothing. He said there was nothing.
Fantastic.
Right. So no
winning
cause
the Nations Cup.
for alarm in that, right?
Come on, you Eagles, come on.
Right back, right wing back. Obviously, I know has to be the guy there. Left, do we stick with Zaidu or
You have to take
Zaidu.
I don't think we got.
is there a temptation to play?
Yeah, I was him.
there.
Yeah.
Nah, I think we stick
But
with
I was
Zaidu.
him has not even played
I didn't
anything.
know.
I think we stick with Zaidu.
But
we
if
stick
you
with
manage
Zaidu.
them, the guy they play left, they play right actually.
I'll
Anyway.
play
But that guy
Chukwueze
is
there,
a central defender.
just for
He plays a central defender.
But they know,
Chukwueze
in position
was
they
a
tight.
serious player
We'll put him in
positionally.
that
Yeah.
position.
As a wing back,
Would have
you
put
put
him
him
there.
there.
I agree.
just the way Perisic plays it in that
So
region.
Perez is Nadia Papa.
I don't even know that guy is
Central midfield. So it's a 3-4-3. Iwobi and Onyeka.
Yeah, due to his last game, I think it was fantastic against
Which?
Guinea-Bissau.
Iwobi?
That's Frank Onyeka, yeah. So Adibini was what we experienced when Alassane was in that game. I would have said, I'm scared of Onyeka, but I think I can go all out for him now.
Right.
He starts for me.
So Onyeka and Iwobi.
Yeah,
you
Iwobi
like say,
obviously.
I think you don't jive Onyeka, so he won't get on. He won't clean his slits sharp.
Yeah, do you know what? I think I would have gone with Joe Aribo and Onyeka ahead of Iwobi.
Joe
Aribo is not.
he's struggling.
I think he's.
There's
I think
something
he's short.
off
I think he's
with
low in
That boy
confidence.
never had
Very
something
low in
off about
confidence.
him.
Really low in confidence.
Very low in confidence. And I was talking about speed of thought in a football game. There were times against Guinea-Bissau that I saw a ball, and players underestimate the importance of playing a ball before the
First
opponent
time.
can pick it.
Yeah.
So there was a ball online not caught from the right wing and gave him, and he's a left-footed player, just in swinger. Osimhen made a run, and instead of him to whip the ball first time, he took an extra touch, and I just knew that this is a player who's really low confidence.
I've
He's not-
really seen even the passes he makes.
You know,
the
it's-
game that he brought him on.
Yeah, it's very
safe.
safe.
It's-
Very safe,
That's
yeah.
not Joe Aribo before.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
not him. I think he's low on
he's a
confidence.
he's a better player. Yeah, I think he's struggling at Southampton, and so Southampton are playing really well at the moment, but he's not in the team, and
So
that is
I
affecting
think
him.
Iwobi goes in, Onyeka goes in, but I'll start.
Iwobi has been decent. I'm not his biggest fan, but I think he's been decent. At least in possession, he's one of the fewest players in our team playing the pass forward. Holding the ball.
True.
Just play it forward. He's trying to do something.
And that's another reason why we have to keep playing Iwobi now.
Yeah.
He can be having a bad game.
Yeah,
we no
but
get
he's
option.
got-
Now they talk like say we get option.
He's
We
got- he's got-
no get option.
That one day, Sha. That one day. That
We don't
one
get
day.
option.
He can be having a bad game.
And- but he's
60th
got-
minute, he go play one
He's got one
pass.
game runner pass in
I'm
it.
telling you. I'm telling you.
That pass we give us him.
I'm telling you.
He's got one.
But like that's for my uncle JJ.
You get.
Make up for year one if I enter dressing room. Make him like say no show me anything. Anyway, yeah.
Iwobi starts. Like I said, I'll play Henacho on the right, but the job is not to stay on. It's not to
of course.
hold width. It's to
Lukman
come
has
in,
been brilliant.
Lookman,
Obviously.
on the left, and then Victor Osimhen.
And I've been surprised with Lookman. The first AFCON,
He handled it very well.
I think he's handled it so well because it's a difficult tournament to really maneuver.
I think he knew that this would either be my last flight to the continent or the first of many, right? But shouts to Lookman. I honestly think he's embraced the challenge a lot, and that's very good to see. So we have agreed on Onyeka, Alex Iwobi. Do we squeeze Iheanacho in there as the third midfield player?
If he's available, I think he should start.
So up top, that leaves us with
Terry Murphy or what?
Osimhen.
Murphy has never even played 1 minute.
Victor
Osimhen.
Paul Onuachu.
With whoever.
I saw somebody
Lookman.
say, can the manager drop Osimhen? Can he start?
Who's that person?
I saw it on Twitter, man.
No, so you don't complete.
There's any Paul Onuachu make team list. He said no go pick himself.
So 3 at the back with.
I remember a joke you made a few years ago when Liverpool signed Thiago Alcantara.
Yeah.
You said that your club was going to call Jordan Henderson and say, please, this midfield, can you pick the team for us?
Be honest. This midfield that you have just signed, will you be able to be inside?
Everybody look out.
Yeah, so you're going to look and say, let's see if you're an honest man. By the way, watch out for Thomas Tuchel. Something is happening in Germany.
Yeah, you feel like something is shaking.
Something is shaking. Yeah.
Something is shaking.
No, let's not.
I just said I put it out there.
It's Niger game over.
Right.
Please
Niger
hold that.
Hold that thoughts for our Premier League when we get back. But I think it's fair to say that AFCON hasn't made us feel like we're missing out on anything.
I was telling Rufai yesterday that. So I was watching the games on Tuesday.
Yeah.
I was watching. I can't remember. I think it was
Cape Verde, Egypt, or was it Ghana, Mozambique?
I was watching the 2 games. So I was switching channels. When I go this channel, I'll go this channel. Then I mistakenly missed one of the numbers, and I went and I said, Chelsea they play match.
True that.
I was actually surprised that
True that.
Chelsea were playing second leg. I actually thought the game was next week.
Okay.
I'm sure.
So I didn't know.
I'm sure the social media manager of Chelsea is like, Poch, your bad luck plenty because those Nigerian fans have missed this 6-1.
I can tell you.
They missed it,
I can tell you.
But no club statements for now. Anyway. A club statement.
I beg, no release them now.
Once Chelsea don't lose game, you can also go retweet
Club
out.
statement.
Retweet out from You say,
I said that's it. Catch me. I don't see club statement, but I don't jump.
Oh man, shout out to Chelsea, man. Shout out to Roma. Now Roma started, Anyway, let's focus on the route to the final, right? And we in Nigeria, we like to count our money before the money hits. They say nothing worse than 2 broke people planning how to spend their money. They want that money enter. So once we beat Cameroon,
once we beat
that
Cameroon,
means so who will play? Who you prefer to play, Angola or Namibia? Sorry,
anyone.
What's the route there?
We are playing. You are right.
So who do you prefer to play?
By anyone now.
I prefer to play Angola.
Actually,
I prefer to play Angola because I watched Namibia. Forget what happened against South Africa. I think that was just showing respect to senior brother. Namibia is very, very solid side. A very solid side.
Anyone.
Right.
I prefer to play Angola actually.
Is that so? Is this a route does that come into your mind as a motivation, or do you just have to play the game in front of you? Because I think this is a route to the semifinals.
Yeah, it's easier. It's easier.
Yeah,
easier.
I wouldn't want to be in that Senegal.
Look at this bracket.
That's a destructive
Senegal,
bracket.
Burkina Faso. You have Mali. You have Egypt.
Mali, Burkina Faso.
You have Equatorial Guinea.
That's a destructive,
this is really mad because
even DR Congo, Sabi.
If we play Equatorial Guinea again, I go fast too.
Because they don't know it's in the
I go fast.
Yeah. But this is actually very doable. This bracket here.
It's doable, but it's not easy by any stretch. I think there are games there are lots of teams there who would fancy playing Nigeria. Morocco would fancy playing, or South Africa would
make it out of that bracket.
Cape Verde would fancy playing, or even Mauritania. They would look at us and say, you know what, we can go up against them. So I don't think it's easy by any stretch, but obviously we want to play the easier team, and hopefully we can pull up a surprise. And speaking of these other routes, I just feel like Senegal, Ivory Coast, and Senegal have had a brilliant tournament. Nigeria had a brilliant tournament last time out. 9 points out of the group. Morocco had a brilliant tournament, 9 points out of the round knocked out. I don't know why. It just feels like it's a sneaky feeling that Ivory Coast probably knocks out Senegal.
Say with your chest. I say probably.
Because
say God.
How Ivory Coast were in different kind of emotions. They were hoping They
But
were
they've sacked
hoping,
their manager.
and they've sacked their manager. And the manager
That
will
man
be,
will tell Colin,
and the manager will be saying, "I qualified the team for the round of 16.
You ungrateful people.
I qualified the team."
But I
but
think they can call him back.
they won't call him back. Call him back for what? But I just feel like they could be this second chance through the back door could be
A motivation.
real motivation.
So Portugal in 2020.
It could be a
Yeah.
real motivation, and they could turn it up. And Senegal are a really solid side. But who says Ivory Coast can't do a smash and grab, or probably go take them to penalties and win it on penalties? So
Yeah.
I've got that sneaky feeling. I hope it's not malaria.
So Namibia with their first ever round of 16 qualification. What have you made of Cape Verde so far? They topped that group. You know, they topped the group, play really well.
And you know,
the way they play.
We're talking about Cape Verde.
Yeah.
This is not the first time they're topping a group with.
It's not.
It's not.
They've
I think
always-
it's-
I
they've been
think
to the
that-
AFCON
Yeah, this is the
three
fourth
times.
time.
This is the fourth time, and they've
And
topped the group three times now.
They've actually they've qualified to the round of 16.
Maybe not
to
the
the
heritage,
next
the
round.
heritage.
Three out of those 4.
3 out of 4.
So they have a serious pedigree
Football heritage.
at the AFCON.
Football heritage.
And I think what has been the biggest credit you can give to them at this current AFCON, you know, is that they rested players against Egypt.
And they see
They
good
rested
result out.
players against Egypt, and Egypt still couldn't win. You know, they still. You watch them play. Is the audacity with which they play?
Yeah.
they're not trying.
Confidence, yeah.
They're not trying to be. Oh, we're going to sit back and then
Yeah.
we're just going to. They can really play.
Yeah.
You know, and
The first 10 minutes against Ghana in their first game I thought to myself, I said, these guys are going to be bloody hell.
yeah.
They will be
Yeah.
difficult to play against, because I saw them against
Mauritania,
Ghana.
any chance?
They took the game. You know, when you say from the blast of the whistle,
Yeah.
you take the game to someone. Like they showed their intention
Yes, now.
so early on. We are going to play. And they keep running, and you know they play. You know, a lot of them play in Portugal, you know, Spain.
It's actually
They play
Portugal.
football on the ground.
Yeah.
They don't do long balls. They don't play balls. You know, hopeful balls. You know, I remember the Zerbi said, "I like to play out from the back because I don't like to gamble. You know, when you play ball out of, it's gambling. I like to control the game. So play it out. That's how they play. They move it so well. The speed of thought in which they do 3-2 passes and they're in the good position.
And who would have thought that Bebe would come to the Premier League
Yeah.
and become prime C. Ronaldo?
Really good as well. Obviously, the less said about Senegal, Ivory Coast, the better for everybody. I think that game will be packed. I think might just be the most interesting game of the tournament.
Probably had Drogba in the dressing room before the game.
Yeah,
King Didier.
Drogba will be like, look, you guys almost made me go back to Europe early. So let me clear you guys 1 or 2. Mali, Burkina Faso, South, Western,
Tough game.
West African derby. That'll be very good.
I think that game went. I think it goes.
I do have a sneaky feeling.
Equatorial Guinea will be another interesting one.
West Africa versus Central.
The Guinea are another very good side. I was hoping that I would avoid. You know,
Yeah, Guinea are
because
good
if they are
side.
finished, run out
Second,
they would have played that.
yeah.
I was hoping we would avoid them.
So you rather we play Cameroon and Guinea?
Honestly, I'd rather
I'd rather
play
play Cameroon, actually.
You know, I think that's another quality matchup. Equatorial Guinea has shown real quality in the tournament so far. Same with Guinea.
See Salah.
Is there a game?
Salah wait
is
for
there
me.
a game in this round of 16 where you
they
think
don't beat their Congo?
that's going to be a drab game?
Which one?
Drab.
I don't think so. I'm
one?
looking at the fixtures and I can't find a game where I think
Maybe Angola, Namibia.
one team is overwhelmingly going to beat
Angola were
them.
involved in the best game of the tournament.
Yeah, against
No,
Mauritania.
I think Cape Verde, Mauritania. I think is going to be.
My brother, you watch.
You don't watch Cape Verde at all for this tournament.
Cape Verde,
No,
No, I
it's
mean
only
Mauritania
Mauritania.
now.
You watch Algeria, Mauritania.
I watch them now.
You watch Algeria,
But let me tell
Mauritania.
you something. They're already happy that they are already
Yeah,
in
so
round
they
of
will
16.
go.
You know what happy?
It's enough excitement. They don't want pass that level.
That
You know,
excitement will make them reach semi-final.
right? Which semi-final for
So,
yeah? Country knows how we play ball.
Cape Verde will beat them.
It's a nice,
Cape Verde will beat them.
yeah. Very nice running through the brackets to the final. Great stuff there. Of course, the show is brought to you by Golderg. It's called Niger Game On, and we're certainly supporting the Super Eagles all the way. And that's great to see because we have made it into the round of 16, part of the 24 teams that made it here. 8 actually gone, and a couple more to go. And if we win that game, that leaves us with a very nice route. And we've just analyzed what we think is the better side of the brackets for Nigeria to go ahead and qualify. So there are your round of 16 pairings. Angola take on Namibia. There's also the Western. But a lot of people confuse, thinking that Equatorial Guinea and Guinea are in the same region. Interestingly, in different regions. Equatorial Guinea are actually Spanish speaking. Interestingly,
yeah, they're the colonies.
Yeah, the only Spanish colony there. Guinea, of course, West Africa. You think about Nigeria, of course, Cameroon, that's our major focus. There's Egypt versus DR Congo, which I think will be a very interesting game. I think Kakuta, one last dance. One last dance with
promising.
The heir to the throne,
don't 5 years old.
But he's still doing some very great stuff. His movement, his passing is still there.
Before you don't do, when you see Kakuta that year for 19 years old, and he's still there like this.
Anyway, let us know.
I'll go check Lingard age. Lingard don't pass 30 years. Lasting potential.
But let us know your predictions going into these games. Use the hashtag #NigerGameOn. We have a space later tonight on Twitter. 6 p.m. Nigerian time, just to preview and get how we feel. How we feeling? How we looking for? Looking towards the game against Cameroon. How we setting up? I don't think anybody's excited, but I do believe that it's the kind of games like this that Nigeria do rise to the challenge, just like we saw against Ivory Coast, right? Gentlemen, anything we've left out? I think we've done a comprehensive wrap of the group phase into the AFCON.
It's our coach that's saying that somebody will get a proper treatment on the African
continent. No, let's not go there.
That one another podcast.
Man alone.
Who's that? I'm missing out on the inside joke.
Klopp.
Klopp, right?
Klopp.
Right.
He was talking about Mo Salah. Getting proper treatment, and
he said he doesn't get proper treatment.
He said
that he needs to travel.
He said, no, in his words,
nope.
Egypt. In his words,
he wants to on that podcast.
No, but if I'm being very honest, there is. Not because.
Waiting talk first.
Make I
read down. No,
okay, let's get.
Why you said for it
out now? Because I became go respond. Salt out.
Person say I be failed journalist because they abuse this thing. So Egypt and Liverpool both want the same thing. Mo Salah fit as soon as possible. If he stays in Africa and they can't do the proper treatment, it will just delay everything. We bring him here not to take him away from Egypt. They bite us, still they use breeze, they rub idiots. We bring him here.
Let me rats. They
do that. I don't know how people they even know say rats they drop
from Egypt.
So if you don't know whether they chop your leg, but you know say they blow how.
We bring him here not to take him away from Egypt, but just to offer the best medical treatment. It's all agreed. If Salah is fit and they go to the finals, he will be there. That's an insult to your nation.
I think at this point, your club should know better. At this point, your club should know better.
Doesn't I agree that your club maybe just talks too much?
I think he talks too much. I think he talks too much. It's not something.
Because I don't think what he said is cynical.
Yeah, but it's not something you should say.
But I believe that you have to be circumspect in situations like that. You have to realize that what I say, I honestly think that he has not said something, totally wrong.
Of course.
Order. But you have to realize that this is the captain of the national team.
Yeah.
Right.
And Rufai made a brilliant point before we started, because, as a captain of the team, if it was just one of the players, you understand. The captain of the team leaving the team halfway in a tournament, more so when you look at the trajectory, how they've qualified. They barely qualified into the next round. And when Mustafa Mohamed scored that goal, he took his jersey up. They see him as the captain, the leader of this team.
And then you leave.
When you leave, it feels like there's nothing to play for. They play for him.
I know that you might say, maybe, honestly, your club has said something wrong. In my opinion, I feel like, how you are inherently, you're classist, for example, and then, but you know that it is not acceptable, publicly. So when you want to make a comment about something, and then you try to douse it, but somehow it jumps out. So because everything he has gone around, you are not trying to take Mo Salah away from Egypt, but he still made the statement. If he stays in Africa and they don't do the correct or the right treatment, my guy, First of all, have you ever taken any sort of medical or medication or medical attention or whatever in Africa? How did you get this impression? Where did this impression come from?
Yeah,
Did Salah tell you that?
Funny thing is,
Salah tell you
South
that?
Africans they blast time already.
Did Salah tell you that? That's one. Two is that all of a sudden, you think that this thing that I have said, oh, I'm trying to explain it. It should be a problem now. It's because of this the injury. Then knack nail put for Salah leg. Is his leg decaying? What happened to him? Did he contact AIDS? What exactly happened? Is he heart attack?
Issues.
Is he what exactly happened that? So all of it, so because the statement you have made has sort of diminished the importance of a captain in a team, because now it is Africa.
It's also diminished the credibility of the professionals.
Exactly.
You know,
Because you might have a doctor for Africa.
so that does, and Africans have the best doctors.
Do you understand?
You know, we might not have the best equipment, but we know how to get to the solution.
And guess what? There are places also here that you find the best equipment and all. Not a lot of them. Like I told in Yobong, I said, you might not find the best medical services here at scale. So you are looking to get it for a lot of people. Generally, people get, but for an individual
Of Salah's reputation
and
access,
you find the very best here.
Yeah.
I promise you find the very best here. And I also said that when it fits the narrative of getting cheap optics online, you can fly your player on private jet to Africa for an award or for whatever, or to come and do this. You fly me on the private jet and fly back. Oh my God, it's Salah now. You can't win the Premier League without him, right? And you know how important he is to the Egyptian team as well. Fly the doctors now. Maybe they can't treat him very well here, or fly him to Liverpool. They do the checkup. They know what they need to do, and then fly him back again. Let him. There are so many solutions that you can find.
And one of it is just not saying anything.
You get, and one of it is just keeping quiet.
Yeah.
Just keep quiet and do what you want to do.
Yeah.
He doesn't say if he stays in Africa and they don't do the proper
Wasn't it Jurgen Klopp at last AFCON made a
simple tournament, a small tournament, and somebody said no, he's not being a mistake. Can you make that mistake with the Euros?
Yeah. So that's the subconscious.
He scored own goals with this African thing too many times.
Yeah.
And like you said, you just keep quiet, man.
Just keep quiet, my guy.
Just keep quiet.
Do what you want to do, but just keep quiet.
Just shut up.
Yeah, I don't even nice.
Anyway, somebody told me that you know, after analyzing like expertly and very insightfully as Rufai has done, he puts the blame at the footstool of the African players. You know, because the African players, there's something in your countenance and in your demeanor that makes somebody say that about you.
You know, I said it too.
I agree.
You know, I said it too that the majority of the fault is still with African players, African administrators.
Like now, if I catch my beat with another man now, you understand? Maybe they no, I don't talk. Maybe they knock now or something. You know, if you tell me say, now you don't give him chance, you get. For him to knock you.
I know. Okay. I see what you mean.
Right.
You don't understand. So I feel that if there's a way Salah will...
He tell you say na mistake.
He no fit tell me say the way you go bring yourself to people. It's very important. You understand?
When we were young, we had a guy who, the guy doesn't drink beer. You know, hopefully he takes Golderg these days. He doesn't drink beer. When we go out to sit out, you know, everybody knows that you cannot give him beer. He's not anything. So one day the guy stood up to go, you know, use the restroom. He comes in, somebody has poured
in his cup
a drink that the gentleman does not quite appreciate. Unsuspectingly, the guy carries the drink, puts in his mouth. There was almost World War III. You know, so when people don't like things, you know, there is an understanding in the room that they don't like.
Don't do that thing to that guy. He's not going to take it.
He's not going to take it well. Yeah. So Africans, in many ways, have been accomplices to how they are treated.
Is that not how somebody put out and said, do it if he easy? Say, Oyibo man sign.
Yeah.
Now they give them out.
That should have been the last time you ever been there. But I think it's been a very good vibe. We're not going to end it on that note. Give us the predictions going into the Cameroonian game. What's the scoreline for you?
2-0 Nigeria.
2-0
Victor
Nigeria.
Osimhen at the double.
Double, right.
2-1 Nigeria.
2-1 Nigeria.
1-0 Nigeria.
1-0 Nigeria. Right. Great stuff there. Just like the guys, let us know your predictions going into the game. We've got all of 48 hours to make those predictions come in. And if you're a member of the podcast, if you're part of the amazing community we have, you should leave a comment. You should be happy to engage us and be a part of the conversation, right? On Twitter as well. Use the hashtag #NigerGameOn, powered by Golderg. Thanks to all the Omoluabis in the house for coming through. I hope you can be one as well. Show your love for the Super Eagles. From all of us here, we've had a great time.
Yeah.
I will see you very soon. Bye-bye.
Yep, our love for the game runs deep. From the banter masters to the oversabi coaches and to all fans who make the game unforgettable. Game on! Enjoy the rhythm of the game with Golderg, official beer of the Super Eagles.